Hey, I'm Danielle, and today you get to see me embarrass myself in public. Essentially, me and a couple friends decided that on a busy Saturday night downtown, we would each drag a banana on a leash down the street. Okay, where do I start with this? So one of my favorite authors and podcasters, Tim Ferriss, has talked about doing ridiculous things in public before in order to desensitize himself to other people's opinions, like he'll wear these ridiculous pants. And this idea comes from Greek philosophers, and they would just do these outrageous things in public in order to learn to not feel shame. So essentially when it comes down to it, just doing things in public that would, embarrass yourself helps you to just care less about other people's opinions and ultimately build more courage and confidence. Alright, so let's just get into the ridiculous part of the video, but stick around to the end so that you can find out where this exact idea came from and what we took away from it. Alright, well, this is Jason and this is Tim, and three of us are gonna walk a banana down the street, so.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
I'm gonna go get me a banana too. Holding up this truck, Jason. She is staring.
How was that?
It was so liberating.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel great?
Actually, yeah. I was like trying to figure out like the right time to put it down, and then at some point I was just like, there's no right time. I just gotta do it. And I walked straight through crowds of people. They laughed, but like didn't say anything. Didn't say anything to me. It was just like, I can do what I want, and it doesn't matter.
Yes. I don't understand how you kept a straight face though.
It's because I started smelling.
Food?
I started smelling food, and I was like, I'm just gonna go with it.
Oh my god.
Fancy.
So,
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. What the hell? What is he doing? Oh my god, they didn't even
yeah, they didn't even see you.
Tim is a perfect example of why you shouldn't care what you do and how you portray yourself, because clearly no one cares.
No one's even noticing. No one's even noticing
one
him holding a banana. Like you're worried about what people are gonna think of your outfit, and then like literally no one cares because they don't even notice if you're dragging a banana.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So this whole thing was honestly so much fun. Like, it was so much better than just going out to dinner on a Saturday night. Well, actually we went out to dinner afterwards, but it just was like, made the night so much better than just if we did something normal. honestly was just so much fun. Let me tell you what came from this. The first thing is that I was honestly just exhilarated by not caring what other people think. And as you saw, Jason kind of felt the same thing. It was just like really freeing to say, I'm gonna just do this ridiculous thing and not let anyone else's impression of me or judgment bother me at all. And the second takeaway was it was so funny and honestly completely surprising that people didn't even notice when Tim dragged the banana past them. That happened twice in a row. Like, it was a whole family who was like pointing at that restaurant or something and just didn't realize, and then there was like these two guys that walked past and didn't see it at all. And it was just an important reminder that if you're worried about, you know, your outfit or like spilling water or something that you would consider like embarrassing, or you would be afraid of other people's judgments, that they might not even notice. And even if they did, they might forget 2 seconds later because they're just caught up in their own lives. And that was just so funny that with something as ridiculous as dragging a banana on a leash, like, people just didn't notice. So something that's way more common that you are afraid of judgment about, honestly, like, a lot of people are just not even gonna notice, or it's not even gonna stick in their memory. So those were 2 big takeaways for all 3 of us, but there was something personally that was confirmation for me. And I talked about before, I made another video about not caring what other people think, so definitely check that out because it's got completely different tips and no bananas. I talked about in that video that I didn't care what close friends or strangers thought of me, or at least I didn't worry about it. And this experience was kind of confirmation for me. I mean, I essentially texted my friend saying, hey, do you want to walk a banana down a street tonight? Like, I didn't say like, hey, do you want to go grab a drink somewhere? Or like, hey, do you want to hang out and watch a movie? I was like, do you want to do this absolutely insane thing, you know? And I didn't feel like, you know, my friends would judge me for that. And even walking down the street, I was surprised at how much I didn't care what the people I was passing thought of me. And it kind of was that confirmation that those 2 groups I feel pretty secure and I feel pretty confident. It was still exhilarating, it was still very confidence boosting, and at the end of the day, like, I still gained something from that experience. But also it was interesting because it came back to this idea that, like, if I don't care what close friends think, or I don't worry about that, and I don't pay any mind to like what judgments strangers have about me, it's really about like sort of acquaintances. And, you know, is there something where I feel like I have to like hold up this image or facade to people that are friends of friends, or like loose connections, or people that I've met before? And so that's something I'm exploring right now, which I thought was kind of interesting. And that, like, obviously didn't come up here, like, because if I was walking that banana down the street in front of a bunch of people and someone said, oh, hey Danielle, I haven't seen you in so long, like, that would be embarrassing to me. But probably anybody. So again, definitely check out that other video because I get real personal about how I deal with other people's opinions and share specific strategies and philosophies around that. But let's get to a little truth bomb here. I realized this recently, or at least realized it again, and that is that if you care about what other people think of you, if you're afraid of their judgments, it's probably because you're judging yourself. Let me say that again. If you're afraid of other people's judgments, it's probably because at some level you are judging yourself. So where do we go from there? Well, I'm doing a lot of journaling around this right now because one of my like life goals is to just not care what other people think. I mean, if you're really being yourself and just living a life in line with what you want to be living and acting in line with like who you really are, honestly, the goal is to really just not care how other people react to that. And so again, journaling is a huge tool for me, and there's a few different questions that you can ask to just like dig into the layers of this. And this is something that I am personally doing right now to get to the root of it. The first question is, who do I think will judge me? And I think this is really about pinpointing what it comes down to, whether it is like close friends, acquaintances, or strangers, or specific people, or, you know, in what context, because that kind of just demystifies it. If you specifically identify whose judgments you're most worried about, it just sort of specifies that fear rather than it being this vague, hard to deal with anxiety. So the second question is something that popped into my head recently, and it's, what do I think they'll think of me? So what is the specific concern of like what you think they'll think of you, what qualities they think you'll have, like being, you know, annoying or unorganized or difficult or anything like that? Like, what are those specific things that you think they might think of you, whether that's making judgments about your personality or judgments about your life? Because this really gets down to like, I don't know if you've ever heard of shadow qualities, definitely Google it if you want to look into it, but it's like, you know, qualities that you don't think you're allowed to be. And in that case, there's like all these, again, layers to it where if you don't want yourself to be that way, then you're gonna like be scared that others will think of you as that, whether it is like, you know, annoying or aggressive or whatever. And that's really how you dig into and let go of these kinds of things. And the third one is, what am I judging myself for? So this is really getting into, you know, where does that sort of like self-judgment happen? What are you thinking of yourself? What's going on there? And just sort of free writing about what you're judging yourself for and really getting honest between you and you, what's going on there, so that you can get to the source of what's happening. I definitely encourage you to actually do this, not just think about it, but like grab a piece of paper or a journal, grab a pen and set a timer for 10 minutes and just free write about these 3 questions and just let your mind sort of get honest about this stuff. It seriously will make a difference. So beyond journaling, there's one more thing that I'll mention, and that is the book that I'm reading right now. I am obsessed with this book right now. It's called The Way of Integrity. It's by Martha Beck, and it's really about like being your true self without concern of how others will react. Like I said, this is a huge goal of mine, and so this book is amazing. I'm almost done. I'll probably finish it today or tomorrow, and I'm just a huge fan. The author of that book is so funny and so engaging, and there's all kinds of journal prompts in there as well. So if you feel like you're living your life the way you should live it and not really the way you want to be living it, whether that's how you act or decisions you've made about your career or your personal life, definitely check out that book because it'll really help you get honest with yourself. And the main message of this book that's been super helpful for me, and I don't think she even specifically says this, but it's kind of like the statement that comes to mind for me, and it's the truth will set you free. And I actually made this my phone background a couple days ago because it was just this constant reminder that like, if I'm being dishonest with myself or sort of doing things the way that I should do them, quote unquote, rather than the way that's genuine for me, it's just a burden. And as soon as you let go of that burden, as soon as you're honest with yourself and with others about who you are and the way that you want to be living, you will feel such a sense of freedom. And so like, I know that this video is about just like doing ridiculous things to desensitize yourself, and I don't think that like dragging bananas has anything to do with my true self, but it's kind of like letting go of those layers of care about judgment, whether you're doing ridiculous things or just telling someone the truth about who you are and how you want to be living. It all comes down to just being in integrity with who you truly are. So now that we've had our serious moment and of course our hilarious moments earlier, let me tell you where this idea came from. So my YouTube buddies, Stefano and Rachel, they have a YouTube channel called Stay and Rach where they do all kinds of hilarious life experiments and talk about personal development. So I'm a huge fan of their channel, and they actually did this. This video is fully inspired by them. Yes, dragging a banana down the street, very prestigious street, and I just thought it was so funny that I had to do the same. So definitely check out that video of theirs, check out their channel. And we actually collaborated on a couple other videos, one about biggest failures and another with an interview with Matthew McConaughey. So you guys have to check those out. All of those will be linked in the description below. And we will leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like these ridiculous life experiment style videos, definitely click like so that I know you want to see more. And please subscribe so you get more videos from me popping up in your feed. I've got a couple of really good ones coming up, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye! That works. Where's the banana?
You gonna stay?
Okay.
I don't know, I think.
That looks semi-reliable. And specific strategies and philosophies. I didn't care what my close friends or my strangers. Open it.
I'll read it right now. Oh, I was gonna eat it later.
All right, well, good enough. Good work.